Yo,
Yo, yo.
What up? What up?
what,
What up?
what
What up?
up,
What up? What up? What up? Jesus, have
man?
mercy.
Man, oh
Tough one.
man.
That was a tough one right there, baby. That was a tough one.
Yo, I don't even think this was coordinated, but look at us in all black. Except for the little white Chanel got on.
I'm
Hey,
in my yesterday. I'm in my yesterday attire. Shit, that's what I went to the
we
game. I ain't even took a shower, washed my ass, or nothing. I'm still sick. I'm still mad. I changed my flight and everything. I got on the first thing smoking out of Vegas. Hell with fucking Vegas.
Man,
man.
First thing smoking out of Vegas. I was man. Listen, I'm gonna give y'all the feeling of Vegas. Y'all remember last year?
do we even start there?
Listen, I'm gonna just.
Go ahead. Go
Y'all
ahead.
remember last year? Had a great weekend. Our 49ers was right here in Carolina. We trounced the doggone Panthers. And went to Atlanta next weekend and partied all Friday, all Saturday, and then got stung like a bee on Sunday.
Yeah.
Did you remember how Atlanta was just like a funeral?
Yeah.
Imagine that times 10. Oh my God. Vegas is one of the livest cities in the country, right? Their economy lost when the 49ers lost yesterday. I mean, when I say we were 5-1, had the 49ers won that Super Bowl yesterday, all those people from California and all over the world, they were going home Tuesday or Wednesday, including myself. I wasn't coming back to Tuesday. I took the first thing smoking this morning. I'm talking about, I finished the game watch, went back to the room, just waited till 2 o'clock and took a doggone Uber to the airport so I can get on the 5 o'clock flight so I can get back to North Carolina. That's how bad it was. Man, I was walking through I'm walking through the airport. I didn't hear bang bang. I ain't hear none again. We all patting each other on the back. Oh my God, it was a bad situation. Oh my God. Walking through that airport was like walking through a mortuary.
Listen,
Yeah.
if we
I know
gonna
the feeling,
start at
bro.
the end, slingshot yesterday. It was a zoo.
Hey,
It was a zoo,
hey.
Shenard. Yo, it was a zoo. Soon as dude, I don't even know who scored,
Man.
but soon as dude scored, I must have had my head down for no longer than 5 minutes. I shed a tear yesterday. I ain't even gonna lie. I
Yeah.
cried. I shed a tear yesterday. I turned around, Shenard. It was nothing but me,
10 people.
P, Clay, and a few other people consoling me. That was it. The whole place cleared out.
Hey, you talking about 500 to about 10 people in a matter of two, maybe 3 minutes, bro.
Gone. So I definitely know what you're talking about when you say like the economy lost. Like they lost so much yesterday. Everything. I mean,
Yeah.
gosh, I don't even know where to start. Where do we begin? I just know I laid on this couch all day today. All day. I have over 400 text messages that I have not opened or replied to. So for everybody who's asking me if I'm okay, here I am on camera. Hello. I haven't watched any Sports Center, any NFL Network, any Fox Sports, anything. As y'all know, I'm into politics, so I've had it on politics. I watched some Black History documentaries today. I took a nap, and then finally I had to go meet somebody. But I'm not. It's
Yeah.
been a bad day, bro.
I,
Yeah.
I think I laid in the bed till about 2:30, 3 o'clock today, man. I was on YouTube looking at trips, looking at my next vacation, man. I shut football all the way down. I wasn't even gonna get on here tonight. That's why I'm dressed in my black, baby. This is setting my mood right now, man.
We
I
owe
didn't
it
want
to
to
the
talk
people, man.
football. I didn't want to talk, sports about the game.
I'm about to say, even our group, obviously we conducting business, so I've chatted and talked to you guys, but even in our bigger group chat, I haven't said anything in there. I haven't even looked at the stuff. They going crazy in there. The outside boys going crazy. I haven't watched anything. I haven't responded to anything, but I appreciate all the DMs, all the text messages. But no, I am not okay. So for the record, I'm not okay. I'm here. I'm alive still, but I'm not okay. This is
Hey, Brad, as you can probably recall, when we kicked that field goal and we gave him two minutes. It was a minute and 53 seconds left. My mood went from me sitting up clapping. I was sitting like this the whole entire minute and something as he drove down the field. And I'm like,
throughout the
this
game.
guy's gonna do it. This guy's gonna do it, man.
Let's start there. Like, let's get into some stuff. Because I got some stuff that's gonna shock y'all, I think, and shock people watching. But let's get into the game. All right, the emotions and feelings out. Let's get into the game. Steve Wilkes. Did the bend but don't break defense finally cost us, and it cost us big? Agree? Disagree? Whoever? No.
Yeah, I ain't gonna put that on the defense. To hold Patrick Mahomes.
No, not the defense. The scheme of the defense. Wilkes, the bend but don't break. There was, especially in overtime, there was multiple plays where the whole defense was 7-8 yards off the ball, and he took the little dinks and dunks. He didn't force nothing down the field.
Yeah, I'm not gonna start there. Like I say, I see the game differently. I see that game differently. I mean, you give, when we take the ball first in overtime after winning the toss, we taking the ball first. We give them every opportunity to know what they need to do to win the game, and they took that's the advantage point. So I can't really say it's a defensive thing. It's a failure, and I'm gonna be honest. I thought about this all day, and I was trying to figure out how I was gonna say it. I really think the stage got too big for Fred Warner when we went out for the coin toss. And he just didn't know. I think that.
What you mean? That's what Kyle told him to do.
I think Kyle's sitting on the sword for him. If you actually, man,
because all season, if we ever win the coin toss, we always defer.
That's what we should have done in overtime. Is defer in the game playing college football. College football started the rule first, where both teams has an opportunity to possess the ball. Right? In that, you want to go on defense first, because you get an opportunity to see what they do. Can you force them to punt? Can you get them to a field goal? If they score, now when you get the ball, you are a 4-down team all day long, because you know you need to match their point or score. That's what I'm saying. We failed at that point. You can't tell me that Cal really. I mean, I think Cal.
But that's Cal. That's not on. You can't put that on Fred. He gets that from the coaches.
Again, I don't believe that. I think Cal.
Why not? They even talked about it again today. I see the headlines. I just haven't read it or watched it. But he even defended it again today on the reason why he wanted the ball, because they wanted to stay aggressive. If you remember, they was pushing the Chiefs down the field.
And I'm not blaming. And with that being said, I'm not blaming Steve Wilkes. I'm blaming that is the reason why we lost that game. You can't take.
So we should have been aggressive.
What I'm saying
we
is,
should have been aggressive.
I'm not saying that's the reason why we lost. All I'm saying is, do you agree with them backing off and letting them get all the underneath stuff all the way down the field?
I mean, I don't think they backed off. I mean, I think when it came time, they was in man-to-man, and all their third down conversion was pick plays. They ran one person coming on the west side and have the linebacker run through traffic. That's man-to-man. That's a man beater. When we cross, when you run across this,
West Charlotte High School, ones,
but all those guys down there, when you run those crossing around, they are man beaters, and that's what happened. When Greenlaw went out the game, they had a target. When they needed a down, they went to the other linebacker that came into the game to replace Greenlaw, and they got money there every freaking time. I don't think we're not a team that goes up and challenge receivers and play press man. Do you want us to change our scheme in the middle of the game? No, we don't do that.
But crazy. Those boys, they were 10 yards off the ball. Kyle had to call a timeout.
You asked me a question.
They were so far off the ball.
No, I don't. I do the beating but don't break. Yeah, you can ask me to be aggressive, but I think we get beat with something else. I don't think Steve Wilkes and his defense caused the reason why we lost that game. No.
That's I didn't say that part.
That's my answer. What about you? You won't get an incriminating statement out of me that the bend but don't break.
Yeah, what's up with you, man?
The bend and break don't work. That's not.
We were sitting next to each other, and Go ahead, P.
I'm gonna just say this. I think we should have been aggressive. We should have went for it on fourth down. Had we flipped it around and like Shenard said, we gave them the ball first, we definitely would have went for it on fourth down. Like
Yeah, but
even
I'm
if we
not
don't
talking
get it,
about that right now. I'm
okay,
talking
that's
about
that's
the
what he was
defense.
looking at. Okay, the defense. Yeah,
I'm
we
talking about
did
the
back off.
defense.
Yeah, we did back off in overtime. We did back off. We played prevent, we played man, and we was 10 yards off the ball, and then allowed Mahomes to find those holes. Yeah. What were we gonna say? That happened. We all saw it. I mean,
You
I don't know why we didn't blitz them. I don't know why we didn't go at them in the back, go at them in the backfield, but we did play off the ball.
Let me make sure I hear this right, Brad. So is this part of your statement is saying the defense failed us yesterday because of the bend but don't break? Is that what you're saying? So you tell me what's your thought
I'm
process
just
on the bend but don't
simply
break?
asking a
No,
question.
okay. So I'm asking you the same question. Tell me, what do you think about the bend but don't break?
The ship. So it finally cost us. So if we go back to week 1, if we go back all the way to week 1 when we first started talking about this, if everybody remembers, we was up 14-17 zip on the Steelers until right before halftime. We had the bend but don't break defense, and the Steelers finally scored a touchdown. And what happens on the last drive? Bend but don't break, and they score a touchdown and win the game. As simple as that. That they try to, when we got down into the red zone and we try to clamp. But before that, we was so far off the ball. And then the Kelsey catch, it was just a great route. He killed Warner on that route. He had him on one hip, and next thing you know, he had him on the other hip, and he was gone. So that big play that got him inside the 10 was all Kelsey. That was just a great route, great everything. But up until then, they was so far off the ball, giving them so much cushion. It was too much. It was too much. There's nobody over there except Kelsey that we should have been afraid of. I ain't saying press coverage, but normal coverage, 3 to 5 yards off the ball with your man right there. They was 7 to 10 to 12 yards off the ball.
So was it the same? Was it the same defense that was being ran in the first half and we had great success?
No. If you go back to the first, there was literally, do you not remember the timeout Kyle had to call? Because they was so far off the ball and Kyle didn't like it. He's like, hold up. We are too far off the ball. Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Like, stop. So let's stop this madness. Kyle had to finally put his foot down. Like, yo, this is too much. Do you not remember that? I know you probably never rewatched the game. I haven't rewatched the game. I probably never will. Just like 19.
I remember that. I remember that very, very detailed. Again, I just think the way you're painting this narrative, this is going to come back to the defense costing us this opportunity to win. I'm saying the whole, everybody cost us. I can go to Brock, which I don't know if y'all ready for that yet. I'm ready for it.
I can go to, obviously, CMC fumbling the ball the first drive. We can go to the punt, the muff punt. I mean, there's so many things. There's so many missed opportunities.
Say the kicker too.
He ain't gonna say that though. He ain't gonna say that.
The kick got blocked
because he kicked it low. He kicked it low. The trajectory of the ball was super low, and it was going off left.
Okay, there was a lot of holding calls that didn't get called. I don't understand how the most penalized offensive line in the whole league had no penalties. I think there's something with the officiating in the NFL when it comes to the Super Bowl that they officiated different than a regular game. There was so many holding calls on Fred when Fred did blitz. Excuse me. The blitzing that we did do, them boys got held. Bosa, you clearly see him getting tackled on one of them throws. Right. He got tackled by the left tackle. He got tackled, and you get no calls. There was plenty of holding calls. There was not one holding call called, except for the one on Trent Williams, which was a holding call when Brock got out the pocket. There was none called on the Chiefs. And I think the NFL they officiate the game different than a regular season game. I don't know why. They need to officiate it the same way that they have officiated every single game all season.
See, that's how when I come to this podcast, I come to this podcast trying to talk about the things we can control. We had a lot of miscues and errors yesterday. That's what I come. I don't never come to blame the official, blame this person. We got to control the controllables. Yesterday's game is why I see why people question Shanahan's ability to make plays. Like, we go right before the 2-minute warning. I think the biggest drive of the game, right before the 2-minute warning, we go run with Christian. Now it's 2nd and 5. He gets too cute. We try to throw a bootleg. We end up almost getting sacked. He throws a 1-yard gain to Kittle. 1 yard gain, 1 yard loss, and no gain, right? Could have been a disastrous play. All right. So they're just running the ball, making them call a timeout, getting 3, making 3rd down really, really manageable with 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. We end up with 3rd and 4. They bring this blitz off BA. Now that's all day Brock. That biggest mistake I seen by Brock, that one or the missed throw to Debo for the touchdown. Those are the 2 biggest miscues, missed throws, misreads that I seen from Brock yesterday, and I'm gonna hold him 100% accountable for those 2 plays alone. Is the miss on 3rd and 4 to BA because he threw the ball left anyway, but he threw it to Jennings yesterday. He threw it left, so if your first read is come left, BA in the slot with space. You got to know the blitz is coming off the slot. That's your hot read. That's your throw. He missed that one, and then I don't know if it's a wheel or a seam. He threw it out the back to Debo, and we didn't get it.
That was wide open.
Yeah.
I called that. Remember, P? I said, "Oh, it's touchdown!" Because I saw the play developing.
Remind me of the Emmanuel Sanders throw. Now the other one where he missed BA, I think BA turned the mode off, and then he seen the ball late and tried to turn it back on, and he didn't fade outside because that ball was wide open for a touchdown earlier. But again, Cal's ability to understand where we are in the game, and okay, we are 2nd and 5. That's the best place we can be. Run the ball again. Run the ball. Let's get us to 3rd and 4, 3rd and 4 off a run, a 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, and run the ball again. We ran right back under center and we threw the ball. We gave them everything they want. We should have ran run. If it's 4th and 1, I'm even cool with them running then. We end up throwing the ball. They don't have to take a timeout. Now they get everything under the 2-minute warning. That is where we lost this game. I think it was the biggest drive of the day, and Kyle Shanahan failed us yesterday in that drive alone.
So let's talk about that drive and that play real quick. The one thing I did do today, for a lot of people, probably nobody knows this, but I actually live across the street and next door to 2 former NFL players. One of them is a 2-time Super Bowl champion. And I believe they did commit to me to coming on, but I gotta confirm that. But they had the all-22 today, and of course they've been bothering me since last night. So that is one of the things I did do today. I went over there and looked at some film, and they pointed out some things that was very eye-opening to me about Brock and or about Kyle Shanahan. And the question they proposed to me was, do you think Kyle trusts Brock? And they said this is why he does not trust Brock, and this is why they say Brock is limited. These are former NFL guys. Replay the last play in your mind in overtime, right? Where the blitz with Chris Jones blows up the play.
Right.
There was only one person. It was a 1-route read. Only to Juwan. Right?
Right. In the corner.
Why would they ever give Pat Mahomes? Would they ever give Joe Burrow? Would they ever give Lamar, whoever, a 1-route read with the game on the line? So is that Kyle not trusting Brock and giving him a 1-route read to win the Super Bowl? Or is that just bad Kyle play calling? They pointed out some other stuff to me too, but they said what that shows is that instead of letting Brock go out there and win the game and be Brock that we all think he is, that shows that Kyle knows that Brock is limited, and this is it.
Hey, on that play, didn't Chris Jones
he
bust
blew
that
up.
play up? Yeah, he blew the play up.
So but that's what they're saying. But there was only one read. There was only one route.
It was a perfect route if Chris Jones wouldn't have got there, though.
Yes, but what other NFL quarterback do you give one route to?
I got you.
You ain't
I got you.
Oh, it's bad play calling. If you don't trust him that much, get a better play. Get a better
Right.
play call. I mean, again, I think he thought he was going to fool somebody with it. Offensive line ain't do their job. I think Brock makes that throw. If it's a one route read or zero route read, he makes the throw if Chris Jones doesn't blow the play up. If you think it's a bad play or you don't trust Brock, get in the 5 wides where he got the whole field to see. You can see the lanes, whatever. Like, it's a bad play call. If you, it ain't nothing about the one route and he's limited to what he's allowing Brock to do. That's just chicken shit. That's chicken shit. Let the man play. Throw the ball. It's a Super Bowl game. He has gotten you to the Super Bowl. He got you a damn job extension. The reason why Kyle is still in fucking in San Francisco because he failed, or they all failed on Trey Lance, and Brock has saved everybody's career there.
Right.
I don't care what you say. It doesn't matter to me. If he called the play would have worked had Chris Jones not blowed it up. If we're not even having this conversation, if Chris Jones doesn't blow this up. However, terrible play call. If you don't want to high-low nobody, that's what they did. That's what Patrick Mahomes had on his last play. If you watched the last play of the game, the one thing I did send it some people in the chat. Look at that play. When that play was done, Kelsey ain't run a route. Kelsey looked at the big screen and put his hand in the air before the ball was even caught because he knew it was money time. And that's the sickening part. Soon as he came off the line, he jogged off the line, and you can see him look at the big screen in the whatchamacallit, and he see where he know where the DB didn't come from. He seen Ryan Jones go underneath the block or the way he's supposed to be picking him. He threw his hands in the air. He didn't even look back at the play. He knew the game was over.
Yeah, they broke down that play too. They said they sent Kittle, Kelsey in the YOLO motion, and
it wasn't Kelsey. It wasn't Kelsey. It was Miko.
Whoever. They sent somebody in the yo-yo motion,
Miko.
And they got that play from back all the way back to Green Bay with the pull and pin motion, the pull and pin, to where they blocking down on like Bosa on the ends and then going around. And they said that's just a variation of it, and they knew that the play was going to work.
Yeah, but they did it. I mean, but now if you want to say something on Steve Wilkes, that's what I'll say is the 3 plays that I can remember all had a version of the pick and pin. Is the idea of when they went option play where Mahomes had the 2 runs, when Ryan Jones had his back turned when they're playing man coverage and Mahomes run for 30 yards. It's the same play. If they guard Kelsey when Kelsey's going on the out, he just takes it and runs right underneath. He reads it right. If they come and try to take the quarterback, he just dumps it to Kelsey and it's a first down anyway. It's the same version of what Miko Harmon ran on the game-winning play. Same version of the option play. If you want to blame something on Steve Wilson, getting the guys coached up for that. But other than that, no, we hold them to 22 or whatever it was, 19. We supposed to win that game. We hold them 19. Right. We had them 2 turnovers. We lost a special team battle. That was it. If you look at the game in a whole, we lost a special team battle is the reason why we lost that game last night. We lost a special team battle.
Yeah, I think the defense actually did their job, man. Truth be told, they held Mahomes like to that amount of points. I mean, hats off to them. We just didn't finish the job offensively. I think we should have not went for 3. We should have went for the killer. But I mean, we took that one on the chin like we do all the time. But yeah, we can't keep getting to the end like this, man, and not being aggressive all the way through.
You said you going for. I mean, first of all, Kyle did show some nuts to go for when we scored. When we did score, we went for it on 4th and 3. I mean that showed some balls, but when I just look at, we got to take the 3 that last night. I mean, we had got out of, we had made it unbearable, whatever, on 4th down, so we had to take the field goal and take the points there just to give ourselves a chance. But yeah, that was horse shit football. And when I'm reading, and the other thing is this is. I know Monday morning quarterbacks are talking crazy, and people gonna say they knew or they didn't know. But for the NFL guys, that is your job. It is your job to know and understand the rules of overtime. When overtime comes, everybody on the squad, and even if you don't know, it's on a head coach to make his guys aware of what the rules are in overtime. Both teams gonna possess the ball. We all had this many timeouts. Blah, blah, blah. We go down and score right here. We got to hold him. We get a field goal. We got to keep him out of, we got to force him to take a field goal so this game keep going. It can't end in a tie. Any of those rules, any of those conversations, that's on your head to make those conversations. And that takes I just gave you the whole rundown on the rules of overtime, and it took me less than a minute. Cal has that kind of time. He has to get the guys. As soon as we knew it was 19-19, we was going to overtime. Hey guys, everybody in. And now we're having this conversation of what overtime looks like. Now the decision to, as you say, Brad, the decision to take the ball first in overtime, I don't know who, I don't know why.
That's 100% on Cal.
But again, I don't know who's having this conversation. Like I had a conversation with a couple guys in our chat last night. Said because the defense was winded and if they go out and score a touchdown, what we gotta do? If they go out and score a touchdown, period, we're gonna get a chance to possess the ball. It ain't like the playoff overtime rule where first of all it used to be sudden death, and then it used to be if they kick 3, the other team get a chance to possess the ball. Now both teams, don't matter what you score, if you score 7. The opposing team has a chance to go down and go 7 and match it. That used to not be
only in the playoffs, though.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So now we're in a situation where the rules are changing. Everybody needs to be updated on the rules. Only way we take that ball last night if we was in the rules in 1980, 1994 when we won our last Super Bowl when it's sudden death. Yeah, we taking the ball on the coin flip. Last night, no, we take defense first.
I had to remind the people that slingshot because everybody thought when we was gonna score that was the game. I was like, hold on, I get on the mic, like, hold on. They still gonna get a chance to get the ball. They're like, man, why you tell us that? They mad at me. I'm just letting y'all know so y'all don't think we win the Super Bowl and y'all going crazy when the game ain't over yet.
Yeah, I get it. That's why I'm at with it. I just believe that is it. I can't fathom that NFL players don't know the rules and to be honest with you, I feel like the coaches didn't know the rules last night. If I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you, again, I think Kyle Shanahan is sitting on the sword that we was going to take the ball. I don't believe that for a minute that Cal and his staff had a conversation. If we win this toss, we're gonna take the ball. I can't fathom that. There is nothing in me that tells me that is a rational decision.
Because we ain't did that all season. I mean,
No. In the understanding that both teams
give the ball away and defense.
If both teams have an opportunity to possess the ball, I don't understand why we would take the ball first. That doesn't make sense. You on mute, Brad?
Right.
That just doesn't make sense to me. Brad, you was on mute. I think you said something. So, all right. So I hadn't looked at it. I mean, again, this is all emotion. I'm having this conversation of all emotion. So if I'm all over the place, guys, I tell you, I apologize. I hadn't had a chance. Watching the game with multiple people, 1,000 people around you, people making bets. I mean, again, live. At a sports book in Vegas, watching the game. People are watching the game for different reasons. They may not be 49er fan. They may be just a Debo to have 50 yards receiving, right? Or 22 catches for Kyle Juszczyk because they're looking to make money, right? They're not really watching the football game. They're not really fans of the game. Not all of them, but some of them. They're just to make money. They're going to take the odds so they can get rich tomorrow. However, this conversation is strictly off emotion. So some of this I may take back tomorrow. But right now, I'm gonna put this conversation on Cal. Again, your play calling, you put your quarterback in some terrible position to make some things happen. Again, the last drive right in regulation, I think we have a chance to win the game. We got to make better play calls. It's second and 5. We were getting 4 and 5 yards a pop. They know we coming. Let's see, can we split one? That's all we need. Get it to a manageable third down, and then we're in a better situation. Again, I think that game was lost on that drive and that drive alone. Yes, the muff punt killed us because they scored one play later. As soon as the muff punt happened, they scored the very next point. They wasn't able to drive the ball a lot last night. Christian McCaffrey's fumble, yes, definitely was a hurter because it was an opportunity to put points on the board, even if it was only 3. And then not being able to score after Jair Brown's interception. Like
we just scored no turnovers yesterday.
Like how are we not scoring on that one? I think now the Pacheco one. I mean, we were still backed up, but with the Browns interception, we should have had an opportunity to at least put 3 on the board after that. We ended up taking a sack or a negative play, or no? Was that series?
That was the 2 Trents.
We got the 2 penalties.
The 2 Trent penalties.
So we shot ourselves in the foot. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna say what Clay's saying. This is the hardest thing for me to say is This window getting tight, buddy. This window of opportunity is
Yeah,
getting super
real tight.
tight.
Yo, it's so hard to get back here. Just to go back.
Yeah.
Do you remember what happened after 19?
No, no,
Injuries,
injured the what? No,
injuries.
injured the Garoppolo.
Yeah, you never know what's gonna happen, man. Everybody healthy. This is our time. You're not gonna have
Talk,
it drawn out like that too many
talk
more seasons.
talking about healthy. The loss of Drake Greenlaw was a
Oh
killer.
man.
Dude,
Yeah.
Oh
that
my
was
God.
crazy.
That
That
took the
that was
air out
crazy.
of the building. Oh my
Oh yeah.
goodness. I'm praying for the young man. That's I love to watch Drake play. He reminds me of myself. Not that I play linebacker, but that ideal of being able to risk everything to make a play for your team, to sacrifice everything, life, limb, arteries, whatever. I mean, the boy plays with such passion that I think
Oh
the
yeah.
defense is energized off the passion that he plays with. And you can see yesterday he was determined to put that game on his back
Oh
yesterday.
yeah.
And I could see looking around yesterday, Warner like he was overcompensating when he knew his right hand man wasn't beside him. He started to overcompensate, especially when my man got beat a couple times. He was trying to make sure he understood the coverage, where to be, try to give him all the tips of the game of where it need to be. And I think it took away from Fred's ability to be aggressive in the latter parts of the game. And he was overthinking and trying to help somebody else and kind of getting out his own way. So the loss of Drake Greenlaw was a big one yesterday. However, even with that being said, we had opportunity to win the game. So I ain't gonna come over here and cry you a river, because that just ain't how I move. Y'all know me better than that. I'm always talk about controlling the controllables, and we still had the opportunity to win that game, and we didn't do that.
How how well do y'all think the offense played as a whole, individually? Brock, CMC, not play calling and stuff. But it's like just how do they play? P, somebody.
Man,
I'll
my
let you
words
go.
is
I just came
like
off talking good.
my word. Hey, my words deep down in here today, man. It's hard for them things to come out today, man. I'm still hurting. Like I ain't gonna even lie, but I think definitely we ran the ball pretty good. Start off the game. I think Christian pretty much laid it out there on the line. I saw blood dripping from his arm. He got banged up a couple of times. He had to, actually come out a couple plays. So I think he definitely laid it out there on the line. I didn't like the plays I got from Debo early on. There's something there about Debo. I don't know.
Debo and
I don't.
Kittle combined for like 38, 39 yards.
Yeah, I don't know if he realized the significance of this game. I mean, he wanted to get there. He did everything he had to do to get to that point. But I didn't see the energy that I saw more out of Jennings than I seen out of Kittle and Debo together. Um, so yeah,
Jennings is a
those are my
restricted
two.
free agent.
Yeah,
I will
Um,
get into that.
Debo
I'm,
did.
I'm
He didn't bring it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say for me, I mean, I think as much as motions we normally use, we didn't use it as effective as we could have yesterday. I think the plays that we did have, I mean, it was when we was getting BA in motion, because I think BA couldn't really handle coming off press coverage with Ladarius lining up in his face the whole game. He was able to draw a penalty on BA early. Um, I think when you line B up like that, and as good as that secondary is, they're able to stay in your hip pocket a little easier. When you get a moving target, when you're getting be able running and in motion already, being able to run into his route, I think it's a little harder to keep up with him and catch him. I didn't think we used that enough. Um, I still think we got to go ahead and find us we got to find some receivers, man. We got to find us some receivers. When Debo went down yesterday, now you see Ray coming in. He did make a catch yesterday, but Ray coming in and spell um, some of those reps from what would normally be Debo's. I see Conley coming in, making a couple. He made a really great impact on special teams. However,
Yeah,
we got
man.
we got we got to figure out how to increase the productivity at the wide receiver position. I mean, they were able to play bracket coverage on BA when needed on third down, because they know he was our only route runner, our only deep threat. They play inside and outside on Kittles. and allowed us to go to the screen game we wanted. And we only met at 2 or 3. And when the last part about that, when you talk about how did the offense play, the fact that our first touchdown came on a trick play, that said something. Like, bro, like that said something. We scored on a trick play. That's not efficient offense. And it wasn't even a well-designed screenplay. It was more of a play by Christian, you know, and Juwan being able to hold it long enough to disguise something, but it just I didn't see us do nothing really efficient yesterday to take us to the next level. Like we didn't play like we wanted that game yesterday. Had we got it, yeah, we'd be celebrating today. We all have bank accounts we want to look into Tuesday or Wednesday, but I just at the end of the day, I wasn't happy with the offensive play calling yesterday. I wasn't happy. Yeah, Brock did his job by not turning the ball over, but in the same sense, he has to be explosive. Kyle has to do a better job of getting him in rhythm. I thought the first drive was a great drive, minus the fumble. But I think we really moved the ball in the first in the first drive, the first 15 plays that were scripted. We really did a great job of that. I don't know where or what intel he got from those first 15 plays. As a coach, you call your 15 plays, your first 20 plays all scripted, and what you're trying to do is get data. And if I go 3-by-1, which is 3 receivers on one side, another receiver on the other side, how are they going to align? Are they checking? Are they adjusting? Are they going man, this, that, and the third? When I go in this formation, what personnel are they giving me? We're supposed to be gaining them and attaining data through those first 15 plays. It's not so much of always home run ball, this ball, or whatever. You just want to see and get data as to how they would align to what adjustment and what checks they're making. And I don't see that we take that information and use it to our benefit in the second half because I didn't see anything change there.
One of the things offensively, and I pointed this out last night to P and Clay, was that because I haven't looked at anything today. So, but all of our third downs was long third downs. I want to say we finished on an average third down like 9 point something yards. It was all of our third downs was 3rd and 12, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11, and that's why we weren't converting them, especially in the third quarter, to keep the momentum going and keep the drives going. It was the third downs were just too long. And then they was all over the receivers. They had great coverage. Now Brock did throw one of the throws in the end zone to Debo. That was a great throw. That was a dot, but it was a great defensive play by was it Sneed or whatever his name is? I don't remember. Yeah, it was just a great play by the corner. It was a great throw. It was a great play by the corner. But also, too, I mean, if you flip to the other side of the ball.
That's a 50-50 ball, though. That's a 50-50 ball. It's a jump ball. It wasn't like.
No, that wasn't a jump ball. That was right here. But he knocked it away. I mean, that was just great.
He turned with one hand and knocked the ball away with one hand. I remember the play. It's in the end zone. Yeah. That's a 50-50 ball. It's a jump ball.
But he was he locked Debo. He had Debo locked down, though. He had Debo locked down on it. They got away with that one, too. That was a whole.
I don't think that was a penalty. I think that was good.
That was great. It was great D. Great D. As edge DB, that's a great defense. Great defense. I think it's a 50-50 ball, though.
The other part, too, is, and we talked about it some, is Bosa's not a dog. Bosa's not a game changer. Whatever we want to say or think about him, he's not a game changer. He's not a dog. Going back to the film I was watching a little earlier with these guys that I didn't want to do, they were just showing how much Andy Reid and other teams have done it too, have just used his aggressiveness against him. He does not know how to stay disciplined. And that's why on that 4th and 1 for the game, you see Mahomes running free down the field because they knew he was going to be aggressive, and you pull it out and you go down the field. Like stuff like that is what separates Andy Reid and Kyle Shanahan. That's why Andy Reid is a great play caller and a great coach. Like 4th and 1 in the Super Bowl, game on the line. The guy, Kermit the Face Frog ass motherfucker, Patrick Mahomes runs the ball for 25 yards on a QB keeper. Like, who calls that? Besides a guy like an Andy Reid or whoever else. Like, who would think of that? Like, okay, we all know Bosa's gonna crash down. Let's call a quarterback keep and you keep the ball and go. Those little things like that is the separation between the coach in the teams and the players. But that separates Andy Reid from a lot of coaches.
Yeah.
Right, Pete?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
We was all ready to celebrate. We like 4th and 1, one stop. This the game. And Mahomes is running 25 yards down the field.
I just knew that was it, man. I didn't think you put all that energy into those other 3 plays and you get beat like that to extend the play. Yeah. Yeah, that was tough to watch, man. Tough to watch.
Just to tell y'all boys, I ain't slept. Boy, I'm gonna watch the game again because I just need to watch it for my own peace. I didn't watch our Super Bowl from 19. I didn't rewatch that because I didn't want to see it. But I actually, I think we're responsible for watching it because we have a podcast that's nationally syndicated, that we have people from the West Coast, Midwest, also the East Coast that are watching us very faithfully. I think we got to do due diligence of going to watch the film, right? So we can be more objective to what's being, because right now we're all on emotions, we all opinionated as to what's going on. I think you got to go and watch it. You got to go and watch it for yourself to kind of understand what we've been asking brought to do. You know what I mean? We got to be able to start to share this blame. I mean, we want to point the finger all the way around, but at the end of the day, I think everybody played a part in this. I mean, I think if you were to go and interview Trent Williams, first time ever in the Super Bowl, and he'll say he's a reason. You know what I mean? I think if you grab a captain that's honest with himself, with Fred Warner, I think he'll say he the reason. You know what I mean? I think if you take the Ricky and Moody and ask about his year, regardless of how many kicks he didn't miss, I think he'll say he the reason. I think if you go to Brock and ask Brock about a couple plays late in the game, especially that third down on 3rd and 4, that's a play you got to make. If we're going to talk about him in an elite and stop talking about him being a game manager, those are the plays that he has to make. Those are the plays that the other guys are making. So I think we owe it to our fans and the people that actually follow us and watch this podcast to be truthful with ourselves and go and watch that video. You know what I mean? We got to watch it for the ideal of how do we get better? What are we going to talk about in all season? Who can we do without? You know what I mean? And again, I'm gonna say this early because I have been a proponent of it all year. That wide receiver room has to get better. That wide receiver room, huh?
Go ahead.
We got a lot of wasted.
No, I wasn't talking crap. I was gonna say, like, what happened to Bell down the stretch? Not just last. I'm talking about the last couple of games.
Bell, Danny Gray.
Danny Gray's gone. I told you, he who came with Trey.
Listen what I'm saying. These are misses that we can't have, right? These are opportunities where we got a chance to get somebody and put somebody on our roster that can, at least somebody can have a reason to have to cover them, right?
Right.
Like, what are we doing?
Wasted spots, man.
Number 9. Who is number 9?
Willis, the backup linebacker.
He got a holding call yesterday. He played tight end yesterday, did he not?
I mean, tight end. My bad.
Tight end. When Kittle went out, he got a holding call.
What was Dwelly?
He was in the game.
What was the other? We got another tight end too. What's my boy name? Our roster needed revamping. I think we gotta.
Let me ask you this: while you on your kick right now, and everybody in the chat, and this somewhat goes back to the first question, and I'm not blaming him, but is Steve Wilks back next year as our defensive coordinator?
Steve Wilks ain't the reason why you lost the Super Bowl.
I'm not saying he is. All I'm asking is Steve Wilks back next year as our defensive coordinator?
I say he is. I don't think nobody gonna pull him. No head job.
The jobs are done. It ain't about pulling. It's whether we fire him or not.
Nah, I don't think he deserves that. I mean, we got to the Super Bowl.
No.
Yeah. I don't know.
Debo catch that ball before overtime. He a Super Bowl He a Super Bowl assistant coach. Why would you?
I mean, I think he's back. Um, I mean, yeah, I think he's back. I mean, I don't think he done anything to lose his job per se. I think he can't stand in the footprint of the guys that came before him. He got to create his own space in his own way. He can't sit
That
in
part I agree with.
he can't sit in what Solid created for himself. He can't sit in what D'Amico he got to create his own lane and his own definition of what 49 defensive football looks like. You know, he was a
Correct.
hell of a coordinator in Carolina. He had Brian Burns and a whole lot of no-namers doing a whole lot of things. Here's what I will say. I think he should have a lot of say in the 53-man roster and who we keep defensively. I think he should have a lot of say in the guys that we draft, right? Because I think he has a certain type of dog that he wants to play for him in the secondary. He's going to think back in first. So he's going to need some long, lengthy corners. He's going to need the guys like Snead and Jalen Watson and all those guys that are over in Kansas City. We need some guys that are, I mean, like Mooney Ward. We're going to need some guys that ain't afraid of contact, great man-to-man, long, can run. We're not – the day of the 5'10" corner is probably gone.
Correct. Agreed.
The day of the 5'10" corner is probably gone. The day of the strong safety is probably gone, right? We're at a situation right now where the Hufungas, the Browns of the world, going to be leading that secondary room, right? I hope that Hufungas be able to come back, but we also got to get in a situation where we got to think about the guys that we have. Think about the young talent that we're not playing right now. And this is the difference between what we had on the field yesterday and what Kansas City had on the field yesterday. Kansas City had 7 rookies on their roster last year when they won the Super Bowl. And they were playing. Yesterday, Luter Jr. gets no reps on defense. He's the one who the ball pops off his leg. And they end up getting it on the punt. He was in the game when that happened. Big time play, get no defensive snaps. So it's Luter. Where's Sammy Walmack? Where's Danny Gray? Where's Ronnie Bell? We got a lot of young talent that's not being a part of this 53-man roster, not earning their keep. And that's where I feel that we're having to have Steve Wilkes. If he's with us next year, he has to have a say in who these guys are and who we keeping. When we're having to go out and get vets in the middle of the year and put them on the field, you can see some of the ring rust on Logan Ryan's yesterday. You can see the ring rust. Haven't been in competitive conversation or competitive issues in a long time, and it showed yesterday. That's what I'm saying. If I like Steve Wilkes, if he can be able to stay, I think he does need to make his own way. But also, Cal, you're going to have to bring him into the room to make sure we can get guys that fit his scheme defensively, and we can get rid of some that don't. Just because you get I still run my flag football program. Now I say this, now I get off. One thing I won't do, just because I like that receiver, I'm just not going to go get a receiver because I don't know if he fits with my quarterback's version of how he plays the game. So if my quarterback doesn't bring him, I never give him somebody and say, you got to use him, because now I look stupid if he never matches with it. Same thing for the defensive coordinator. You got to go and find who fits your scheme and let them use it that way. That's the reason why I think he stays in, but he has to have a little bit of say.
But that's the thing, though. We didn't run his scheme. He tried to run Salah's scheme and D'Amico scheme, which is the wild 9. He didn't run that until this year.
Right.
That's a fact. I mean, that's what I mean. Again, the easiest part for him to do is integrate himself for one man to learn scheme, as opposed to 29 guys, 30 guys all having to learn a new scheme. So he called himself learning. So that's going to be part of his development. It's him being in the off season, being able to learn this defense, maybe go take a trip, spend a couple of days with Salah, spend a couple of days with D'Amico, whatever it takes, some brotherhood type stuff, and figure it out. He's gonna have to figure it out. But also, again, it still got to be the personnel. It still has to be the personnel. With as much money we spend on the defensive line, it still has to be the personnel. Randy Gregory probably is more of a fit in Steve Wilkes' defense than the other defensive ends that we have, because he's long, linky, and can run. Not the Bosa's of the world can't change directions, or the Chase Youngs of the world that can't change direction. Burns was somebody who can turn the corner, who can change direction and run you down from the backside. Randy Gregory has that type of range. So Randy Gregory is probably more of a fit for Steve Wilkes' defense. Now, not so much Colin Farrell because, he got hurt earlier. He wasn't active later on, but just too a little light in the ass at this point. But I just don't know, man. But I think Steve Wilkes will be back.
Shout out to Chase Young. He finally showed up. I was telling P, obviously I said it before, he was my underdog. And then MVP was my dark horse MVP. And I was telling them, like, Chase, I mean, he left so much bad tape so much bad film the last couple of weeks. He had to show up. He had no choice. I think he played okay yesterday. And these are obviously we'll get into these probably Thursday and beyond. We'll start getting an individual and breaking down who should we bring back and not bring back and stuff like that. But also shout out to Kinlaw. This is his best season as a pro. He played a hell of a game yesterday. He played a hell of a game in the playoffs. But Kinlaw, he stayed healthy. He was active for every game this year. Obviously, I don't think he's a starting D tackle in this league. But if we can retain him for low and him stay home, the hometown discount, I think he's a great rotational piece behind Hargrave and Armstead. I think it might be time for Armstead to go. But like I said, we'll get into that down the road. And I didn't see too much of an impact with Hargrave this season. But like I said, that's down the road. We can talk about that.
Could you see a scenario where Cathartic becomes the defensive coordinator and Steve Wilkes just becomes the secondary coach?
I don't see that scenario, but I always wondered, when Ryan was going to get the job, or we knew he was gone, Chris Cathartic is my guy. Like when I go to those games and I'm talking about being in there 2 hours early, and if I'm at the bottom and I'm in the end zone that the D line is warming up in, I'm talking to Coach Chris. And he talks back, and he's a really cool dude. And then obviously the guys who's been there, they all love him. Not even just the defensive line guys, but the secondary guys, the linebackers. You see the way they interact with him. A lot of the scenes yesterday, you saw him being really aggressive, right there standing next to Wilkes and talking to the players and stuff like that. But I always thought he should have got the job because he was in-house, knew everybody, blah, 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 blah. But from talking to local people or to hearing from the local beat writers, something about they thought that he wasn't ready or that he didn't want it. I can't remember. I think it was more of they thought he wasn't ready to be a defensive coordinator yet. But I think he is the best defensive line coach in the game. But let's just say if D'Amico wanted to take him, they should have gave him a raise and made him defensive coordinator because he's a guy you want on the staff in-house.
What about?
But I don't see a scenario where they demote Steve Wilkes and then promote him.
Let me ask you another scenario. Maybe they don't demote him, but they make he goes to coach the linebackers next year. And bring somebody in younger to coach the secondary next year, or bring somebody in to coach secondary. Ain't got to be younger, but somebody else to coach the secondary next year and make him move the backer so he has more conversation with the defensive front and the front seven as opposed to the back seven. Could you consider a scenario of that being where he has to learn another position to coach, even though he's been a DB specialist for most of his NFL career?
No, I don't see. It's either he's gonna stay what it is and what he is now, or he's gone. I don't see them making. I don't see that. But yeah. So y'all got anything else? Because I was gonna giving these people 55 minutes, an hour. Letting them know we're still alive. I think that might be enough. I'm ready to curl back into my corner.
No, I got a couple things.
What I'm gonna go look at though? I'm gonna look at it with you, Nard. I think from what I saw yesterday and what I can remember, a lot of Brock throws they came out wobbly, or was they tip? Was it a lot of them tip because they weren't flush, they weren't tight, they didn't have the.
He couldn't step into those throws.
Crispy throw. So yeah, I saw a lot of that from Brock. So yeah, I'm gonna look for that when I look for go watch the highlights and rewatch the game.
No, I ain't watching no highlights. I'm watching
Go
the
ahead.
game.
What you was about to say?
I'm watching the game. Listen,
Okay.
let me just handle a couple of these trolls out here real quick, right?
Mm-mm.
I ain't hard to find. Use the accent when you talking to me or talking about my team because I respond to everything. If I ain't get to it today, I'll be sure to get to it tomorrow. I was in Vegas for the game, so I missed a lot of the subliminals that you suckers are throwing. I don't care nothing about it. Yeah, we lost, but keep your comments to yourself. You know who you are. I ain't finna give you the clout on this nationally syndicated podcast. I ain't gonna give you the clout, but yo, you know how to at me. The same thing is the best dress on all social networks. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever you call it. Snap, whatever you want. I ain't hard to find. Just know, have your facts when you come, man. Listen, it's a couple people that ain't got NBA rings because of Michael Jordan, and we don't want to be one of the ones that don't have one because of Patrick Mahomes either, though. So just know that. That don't mean we sorry. We there for a reason. We in the conversation every year before a reason.
Okay, we good.
So that's how it's gonna be. But if you need to find me, you got anything to say disrespectfully, make sure you at me, sucker. I'm good.
Yo, Whistle Game Podcast. Listen up, man. For everybody we appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. I know it's everybody sad like we are. But please hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell on YouTube so you know you get that alert every time we go live. Obviously, it's the end of the season.
Yes, sir.
We will obviously continue to go. We'll have different segments. We'll start breaking down free agency, our own free agents, and the draft coverage. We'll have all those different type of things. So make sure y'all stay tuned in, locked into the Whistle Game Podcast. We should have some merch coming. There was something else. The mind is all over the place, but just stay tuned. Obviously, stay tuned. Mainly YouTube. Eventually, we will stop going live on Facebook. So please make sure you're tuned in, you're watching, subscribed on YouTube, and following us on YouTube because that's where we're going to start putting the majority of our content out on YouTube.
We appreciate the comments, man. I mean, I don't normally have my phone. Sometimes I'm operating, I'm on the move, but as I'm seeing the comments come in, we enjoy the comments, man. Keep the live going real. A little bit about our off-season schedule. We'll only be on once a week. Come to off season because it ain't a whole lot to talk about. There's a whole lot of free agencies here, moves there, whatever might be popular in football. But we'll be on this Thursday coming, and then after that, because of the off season, we'll go to once a week. But still tune in to the information. Again, continue to comment as we go along. It definitely makes make the podcast go a little real. If you got any ideas, you want to be on the show, make sure you send us an email. Make sure you send us a message. We'd love to have you on. Represent your chapter. Represent your love for 49er football. No matter where you're from the Dominican Republic to Germany. I met people from all over in Vegas this weekend. Spending a lot of money. They love the 49ers just like we love the 49ers. I've seen all the kind of different flags and 49er gear. I think I was the only one out there working. You know how I rock my flag hanging off the back like I'm rocking right now, right? Like. Yeah. I rocked it Thursday, Friday. By the time Sunday came, I see about 10 other people rocking their flag like that now. They were like, yeah, that's y'all do that. I'm like, yeah, we do that in Carolina. So yeah. So at the end of the day, man, everybody out here rocking 49er football. If you got something you want to say, tap in with us. Let us know where you calling from, man. We got some merch on the way. I still got about 10 or 12 whistles that I can send out. So if you send us a message, I'll make sure they get it out to you before the next batch come in. So with that being said, Whistle Game Podcast.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. Peace.
Peace.